Well, if you've been following along for any length of time, we did purchase our first farm here this spring, which has been very exciting, but brought along with it a lot of problems, I guess you could call them. I'm gonna go out and check it right now. We just got back from watching the ARCA race at MIS up in Michigan, so that was kind of fun to hang out with the family, do that. Normally we can't do that, we're busy making hay, or when they did 2 races a year, it'd be during fairs, so definitely nice to get away, relax a little bit. We're maybe a third of the way through first cutting at this point, so definitely made some progress, but the weather hasn't allowed us to get back into the fields to do anything. We have a big hay delivery probably lined up tomorrow or Sunday, but yeah, let's go take a look at what our lane looks like after a little bit of rain, see what our grass and alfalfa look like. Hopefully we should be able to get all the way back to the south field then before it gets too dark. It's going to be about a quarter-mile walk, through the north field to get to it. Can't really drive there because obviously some of the issues we have with this property, but at least we can drive hopefully to the north field down this lane. So here we are, we just pulling in. I got to figure out how many tons we put in, but I think we're over 500 tons of stone we've hauled in. And ignore these ridges on the side. It's just, you scoop the stone and it just falls off to the sides. And I haven't had a chance to bring the skid steer back over here, because what I'm gonna do is pull this back with the skid steer, dig down and push the dirt away to try to eliminate any pooling of water on our lane. So it's obviously not done completely yet. It's still got some fine tuning. It could definitely have a lot more stone to get it thicker, but I mean, I'm in a 2-wheel drive truck right now and I'm not having any issues getting back there. It's still a little rough. I need to get a box grader. There's a lot of things I need to do and want to do, but they all take time and they all take money, and I don't think that's the priority where we want to spend our money on certain things at the moment. We got it good enough to get us back there. But yeah, so this is our lane. This woods is, I think 950 feet, maybe 1,000 feet long. And with all the curves, this lane's probably over 1,000 feet. It's well over 8 feet wide, if not wider in many places. So you start doing the math, if we're at least 4 or 5 inches deep on some of the thin spots and 8, 10 inches deep in some thicker areas, then that amounts to a lot of stone. And this is recycled concrete, $13.50 a ton. You do the math, you can figure out how much we spent on it. It's not been necessarily cheap, but definitely affordable, I guess. It needed done. I don't like the mud. So there's where we piled up some of the dirt to get out of it. And here we are to the end of our lane. I don't have a place to turn around yet. I don't think I want to get off of the lane, so we're gonna have to back all the way back out. And you can see, that's soybeans right there. We don't grow row crops. We're hay farmers. This worked ground right here, that's ours. And that's our access lane. Then our field's right there. Ditch cuts through it. South field on the other side. So we're gonna look at this north field here a little bit, see if any of the grass is up, and then walk back to the south one. So it looks like a lot of bare dirt. And obviously, I'm just right here at the entryway of it. There's some green popping up. I think we definitely overplanted some of these areas, but you can see as we get in there, and I don't want to walk on too much of it, that's grass. And we don't have a consistent row yet. But you can see there's a little bit poking up as we get over this way. There you go. That's exciting. I don't really care what anyone says. It's obviously too early to judge anything for a stand, but I'm mighty proud of this. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hi there, little guy. I don't think he's friendly. Definitely not the biggest snapping turtle, but he's as big as my hand. Wow. Just look at the tail on him. These things are fascinating. So this is the crossover we put in. And you look at that. I think that's alfalfa. And a lot of it too. Holy cow. I think we got something done right on this alfalfa. I mean, look at that. You can actually see rows. It's up, it's growing. We planted it at like 18 pounds to the acre. I think that's gonna make a nice population for us. I'm really excited for this. The whole field isn't greened up yet, but it'll take time. I'll be honest, this is my first time back here since we finished planting this field. Actually, since the morning that I did the end rows on this field, that's the last time I've been back to this south field that we're standing in here now, just on the other side of the ditch. I'd already burned through one vacation day and I still have plenty to use, but one of the trustees wanted me to come in. So reluctantly, I went to work that day, crossed my fingers, prayed to God, hoped everything went well for my wife. And they actually went probably the best they've gone since we started this whole endeavor, getting this farm going here. So I didn't even know where she ended up parking the drill. I just said, get it, you know, close to the ditch, out of the way. And here we are. You can see plenty of room. We can still mow around it. Obviously, I'd love to just take this whole ditch. You can see all this grass and mow right up to the tree line. This 3-point hitch is something we'll have to mow around a little bit, you know, with it's just a big drill. It's long. It is what it is. I got nowhere to put it inside. It was stored outside when we bought it. It's gonna get stored outside now that we own it. And it is in kind of rough shape, but I actually got to put in a nice spot. I'm very lucky to have a wife who can do the things she does, but man, this has just been such a long time coming to get to the point that we're at. Granted, it's only our 4th year farming. I know a lot of people wait a lot longer than that to get to where we are, but I'm just so grateful that we got the opportunity to do what we're doing here. I'm really excited about just being able to do what we want on the ground that we own. We're calling all the shots. We get to benefit from the long-term rewards of taking care of things the right way, you know, instead of short-term leases or short-term rental agreements or just buying the hay out of the field. Where, yeah, it's great. It's great for cash flow. It allows us to grow and leverage ourselves into bigger pieces of equipment, nicer pieces, and all these things. And they're all great. And I'm never going to turn down opportunities. I rarely ever do. I think I did turn down a 4-acre field that's like 20 miles away. In years past, I probably would have picked that up, to be completely honest. But I am just so excited. This alfalfa's up. Can't see it much in this shot, but this is just so cool. That crossover was a big project. Cutting through the woods, another huge monumental task I was not cut out for. We did have some help, obviously a lot of help, really. But the lane, that was pretty much all us putting that in. We did have help getting the trees cut, moved, and everything like that. So that was the big thing, right? The lane is something I can do with some of my equipment if we borrowed a trailer to haul the stone. So I'm not trying to say, you know, we could have done it without anybody else, but we did have some help. But we did all the hauling, we did all of the spreading of that gravel, and we still have a little bit more to do. But I drove all the way back here. Hopefully we'll get out, but it's just so cool. We got to this point, and I am so excited to drop a mower in this field and mow down some beautiful alfalfa hay, and in that field mow down some pure grass. Just things that just excite me to no end. And we have a lot of first cut left ahead of us that I'm also very excited about. Hopefully we can kind of slow down a little bit. I mean, things are going to pick up, but slow down in the sense that we can kind of appreciate what's going on, what we have going for us, because we went right out of planting, and just days later we're dropping hay and we're getting after it. We have 60 acres hay we just knocked out, and while low yielding, we still had 60 acres that needed mowed and raked, so that part doesn't really ever change based on yield. But there wasn't a ton that needed baled necessarily, so it wasn't too overwhelming getting the hay put away. But yeah, it was just, now we can kind of catch our breath a little bit, and then get ready for the next couple big pushes. Straw will be here before we know it. Second cut will be starting. And believe it or not, this bare dirt here, if we keep getting the rains we get end of July, we'll be back here making some hay. And very, very excited for that. So not only cool, we have that little snapping turtle. Probably not ideal if you're trying to swim in anything. We got asparagus growing out here. Isn't that neat? Pretty cool. Look at those little baby asparagus growing up. It's right in the middle of our lane, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish it would have been pretty much where that turtle is. Would have been just a perfect spot for some asparagus. We'll let it go. I'm not looking to do anything with it. It'll get mowed off because we have alfalfa, you can see, planted right through this lane, or this crossover. And you can kind of see those rows up there, and they just kind of, I just dropped the drill and planted right through it. Hopefully it keeps coming back, because I wouldn't mind some asparagus. I mean, we got some at home, but it'd be cool to have some growing out here too. I know on the east end of this property, there's some asparagus on the north side of the ditch, some wild asparagus. And I'm sure if I just take some time and keep walking through, I'll find even more, which I think that's pretty neat. I'd love to get some of these junk trees pulled out of here, and I know mulberries are considered a junk tree, but I wouldn't mind a couple mulberry trees in the ditch or in the woods, wherever. I do like mulberries, don't have any of those trees at home. And if I ever find cheap cherry trees, I would love to just plant the whole ditch up, hundreds of cherry trees, but I know that's not very practical, but I can dream. Well, I don't think you realize just how big a deal this is. I'm pretty much all the way up to the road now, but I was able to drive all the way to the back of the woods, park, and be right in my field. Get back in my truck and back up, and now I'm gonna be backing back on the road to go home, which is just, you know, half mile that way. It's just down this road, take a right. Super convenient, but I got a 2-wheel drive truck all the way down, and pretty much all the way back now, and I'll get out without any issue. It is huge, because for the first month and a half, we've just been fighting tooth and nail to get to the point we're at now. The field's planted. I think we have good germination. Emergence is starting up. It's a little early to say, but I'm super stoked. Super stoked. Very, very happy where we are right now. This is just a huge moment for us to get to where we are. And this is just such a great thing, having this laying done, because this woods was just so wet. You couldn't hardly walk back there after a good rain without getting more than an inch or two of water in some spots. It just holds water so badly. But no, this is exciting. Well, this doesn't look too bad. We mowed this down, or we baled this last Monday, and today's Saturday, so it's only been about 4 or 5 days since we baled. And we got a good amount of growth on there already. Lots of shoots coming up. Looks like it should make some nice hay. I'm excited for this. Maybe we'll go check the other field out here after this. And we had a lot of hay laid down in this area that just didn't get mowed very well. It was laid down almost completely, so it did not mow very nice, but the rest of the field looks pretty good. Well, it seemed like there's a lot more alfalfa in this when we mowed it, but I'm seeing a ton of grass in here now. And you can see that grass is up probably a good 6 to 8 inches almost. The alfalfa is just starting to poke back up. Yeah, right there you can see it's up over my ankle. Same thing, we baled all this on Monday. We mowed it, I think, the Thursday. Today's Saturday. So it'll be about maybe 9 or 8 days since we mowed. Less than a week since we baled it. I think it looks pretty nice. Definitely has a long way to go before we can make more hay, but there's nothing else we can do until we get some dry weather to keep making hay, and we'll keep pushing, because kind of the plan is we have another couple big legs of first cut we want to knock out first, and I think we'll roll right back into this. And I think by the time we get done with first cut, this will be ready for second. Well, 350 bales on that load. Time to head out to Toledo. It's gonna be dark by the time we get there. I think he's got lights in the barn. Most of these got to get thrown up into a mow, which kind of sucks, but should be a pretty good payday when it's done. That was our current situation, 10 o'clock at night. And that kind of collapsed in on itself. Landed on the tailgate, didn't do too much damage. I don't have a crescent wrench with me to loosen them up, raise it, tighten them back down. We're only like maybe 10 miles from the delivery, which this really sucks. Well, we made it. Here we are in the neck of the trailer. And all of this is getting unloaded into the mow. We have a little bit to move yet, but we got a decent tip. It'll be worth it. It's about 11 o'clock. I'm just glad we made it. I mean, we were only stranded for probably 20 minutes. We should have been here about 10, 15 or so. So we're here. Time to get to work. Well, it's currently 1:30 in the morning. Finally done. Hay's all unloaded. 300-ish bales, 310 up there, and then there's about 40, 50 on the ground right there. Truck's backed out. We did raise the tongue up a little bit more. I'm ready to go home, get some sleep. We got church in the morning, so let's skedaddle and get out of here. So after every delivery, if they don't want the hay, I clean up the trailer, load the hay in the truck. Something I forgot to mention last night is the bolt that goes through there, that also broke on us. So it was then broken in half when we were trying to jack up the loaded trailer just to get it off of the tailgate so we could lower that down and everything. But it was still on there at least. So we were able to still get it done. Just need the new bolt now. We made it home though. We got it done. All that's left is we take a leaf blower to these wagons here. If they do store them outside, obviously that wood's not the best. Just blow them off so there's less organic matter on there to start holding moisture and rotting. 350 bales we sold yesterday. That's at least 10% of our entire hay made this year. We put up just over 1,000 bales, 350 bales. That's 30%. That's quite a bit. But we have a lot more to make. I think that'll be good enough for him for the year though, so that's not like a regular occurrence, but still, great sale. Excited to get the hay moved and get some money. Well, the tractor's all clean. Almost think I should clean the mower. Everything got parked away, washed and waxed last fall. We've mowed 60 acres with it now. I think we're just gonna finish first cut before we clean it, but I might just clean it if I have time this week and make everything look really nice. So you've been following along for any length of time. I appreciate you staying this long in the video. We did get the 1,000 shaft in this, obviously, if we have this mower hooked on. And that seems to be working well. So on my old MXU, it had a 540,000 on each side, and you just pull it out, flip it, and put it in. It had different gear sets it ran on. This has a shifter in the cab, 2 separate shafts, but I'm excited about it. Seems to start the mower up without any problem. Better than the 6125 Agco white we have. You have to give it a little throttle, otherwise it'll kill the engine, and that's got a 5.9 Cummins in it, 125 horse. I think this might have a slow start PTO. I'm not sure. I know it has a quick stop, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like it to ease off, you know, like I can kind of do with some of the hydraulically engaged clutch packs on the Agco White or the 2105. My old 1750 Oliver was mechanically engaged, so you had a lever that locked the clutch over center, and the same thing on the Super 77 Oliver we had. This being more electronic and safety features, it's a quick stop. So this isn't bad because I think it's called an overrunning clutch, so it'll just spin till it'll stop, you know, on the mower rather than quick stop the whole machine just locked up. On the manure spreader though that we bought, it basically, you shut the PTO off and the whole thing just slams off immediately. So thanks for watching. We'll keep posting as we get more stuff. We're gonna be busy this summer.